You know that feeling, right? You do incredible work, you hit every deadline, you pour your heart and soul into a project, and you feel like you're completely invisible. It's so frustrating and honestly, super common. Well, in today's explainer, we're going to fix that. We are diving into exactly why your great work isn't getting the attention it deserves, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it starting today. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to completely bust the visibility myth that holds so many of us back. Then, we'll look at the very real cost of being invisible at work. After that, it's all about action. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to communicate your impact and use the power of just being present. And we'll wrap it all up by tackling that big mental hurdle. Why making yourself visible isn't arrogant, it's strategic. All right, let's start at the very beginning with the root of the whole problem. It's a single piece of advice that sounds so noble, so right. But in the real world, just blindly following it can be seriously damaging to your career. Yep, there it is. We've all heard it a million times. We're taught to just put our heads down, do a fantastic job, and, eventually the right person will notice. It feels virtuous, right? It plays into this idea that pure quality and effort will just magically get rewarded. But here's the tough question we have to ask. In reality, when everybody is absolutely buried in their own work, their own emails, their own deadlines, is anyone even looking up to see your silent, excellent work? The hard truth is, if nobody knows what you're doing, it's almost like it didn't even happen. And look, this isn't just a philosophical debate. Believing in that myth, just waiting around to be discovered, has real, tangible costs. It directly impacts your career growth. Let's break down what being invisible actually costs you. It really all comes down to this one simple, hard truth. The big decisions, promotions, raises, who gets to lead the cool new projects, they're based on perceived impact, not your silent effort. If the decision makers can't easily see and understand the value you're bringing, they literally can't reward you for it. This slide really lays it all out. The myth we want to believe is that promotions go to the most talented person in the room. But the reality in most places is that they go to the person who did a great job of showing their impact to the people in charge. Okay, enough about the problem. We're here for solutions. So let's switch gears and get into the first set of really practical strategies. This is all about how you can communicate your value so that your contributions simply can't be ignored anymore. Here is your 5-step checklist. It's pretty straightforward. You've got to assume no one knows what you do. You have to learn to talk about results, not just your to-do list. Use meetings as a platform. Don't just attend them. Share what you learn. And build the relationships that open doors. Let's break a couple of these down. Okay, let's take a classic example. You're giving an update and you say something like, "We launched a new process." I mean, it's factual, it's accurate, but let's be honest, it's kind of boring. It's a task. It doesn't tell anyone why they should care. Now, let's reframe that. Instead of the task, you focus on the outcome. This process cut our team's work time by 30%. Boom. Now that gets a leader's attention. You've just instantly translated your action into a result the business actually cares about. This is about more than just reporting wins. We're talking about strategic sharing. When you say, "Hey, I figured out something that could save everyone time," you're not just showing you're good at your job. You're making the whole team better. And that builds your reputation as a go-to person, a real resource. Getting your communication right is absolutely essential, but it's really only half the battle. The other half is about something a little different, the power of presence. This means strategically making sure you exist visually in the places that really matter. This might sound a bit blunt, but it's a fundamental truth of office life. If the key decisions are happening in one place and you're never, ever there, then to those decision makers, you're pretty much invisible. Out of sight really is out of mind. You need to be seen where the conversations are happening. So how do you actually do this without feeling awkward? It's all about creating simple, low-pressure opportunities. Take a strategic walk past the offices of key leaders. Invite someone important for a 15-minute coffee chat. It can be way more powerful than a formal meeting. It's all about just proactively creating those small moments for connection. Okay, I know what might be holding you back through all of this. It's that nagging fear that little voice in your head saying, but isn't this arrogant? I don't want to be a show-off. So let's tackle that head on. This is the final and maybe most important mindset shift you have to make. Here is the crucial difference. Arrogance is selling smoke. It's all talk, no substance. Strategy, on the other hand, is about demonstrating real, tangible value. What we're talking about here is not empty self-promotion. It's about making your actual impact visible so it can be recognized. And really, it all comes down to this. This is the big takeaway. Your boss is busy. Your colleagues are busy. No one has the time or the job description to go investigate how great you are. The responsibility to make your value known is yours, and yours alone. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Not for next year, not for next quarter, for this week. Thinking about everything we've just covered, from reframing your updates to taking a strategic walk, what is one small, simple action you will take this week to make your value visible?